Hey guys, Adam here again. So just wanted to bring you in and show you what we're doing today. We've had a parcel arrive. There's a whole heap of bags here. This is going to be insulation for under the houses. So what we've found, we've been on the farm now since March and we've identified that it gets very cold in winter and we're assuming it's going to get pretty hot in summer. So this insulation here, a company called Ecomaster, which we bought it from, is for the underfloor insulation. So because the house has risen up off the ground, we've got the joist that we sitting our floorboards on, our wooden floorboards. So there's nothing more than a 20mm gap between us and the outside wall. So insulation is what we're hoping will cut down costs on worrying about air conditioners and fans and those sorts of things. So the better the insulation, the better experience we're going to have inside the house. So as you can see, there's a whole heap of bags. We've got 25 of them. Each bag holds 3 rolls. Each roll was 7.2 meters squared. So we've got quite a big floor space in the two houses that we have. So yeah, we need quite a lot of stuff. So it's turned up 6:30 this morning. Had a quick look at it, and I'm going to show you guys what I can see, that this is the stuff. So it's a foam. You can see, got a bit of a squish to it. They're obviously wrapped pretty tight inside these sheets here. So this is the foam. It expands out to, let's say about 10 centimeters high. And I'll show you later how we're actually going to install it, but we actually use staples and we staple it through to the inside joist. So there's no strapping required for this one, which means that it actually is getting held up to the bottom of the floorboard rather than using the strapping on the joist and then having it sit down a little bit. That's why we opted for this over the woolen insulation. So we'll see how it goes. It's R2.5. So that's pretty much as big as you can, as high rated as you can get for the floors. I know that if you get ceilings, you can obviously get a little bit higher. There's the pack there. Ceilings you can get a little bit higher. Walls are around about the 2.5 mark, which is the same as the floors. So thank you. Have a little look at that, and next time you see us, we'll be starting to lay this under the floorboards. Hey guys, so here we are in the first house. So you can see we've got all the floors up. So this one's had to be completely stripped back due to a whole heap of termite damage. So this is what we have to deal with, and this is how we need this place to be without any floors on it to be able to do the insulation. So the reason for that is, as I walk further up towards the back end of the building, you can see there's not enough ground underneath. There's not enough gap between the floor and the ground to be able to crawl underneath to be able to install that insulation. So to be able to install the insulation, we're having to do it first before we lay the flooring down. So what it'll do is we'll lay it down here. We'll put our hands underneath on either side as we go through using an electric stapler. We've got galvanized staples going into it, and we'll staple it in from underneath. So really important that we get this part done all the way through to the end of the house there, just because again there's not enough gap between the floor and the ground. So give me a second and we'll take you through to the other part of the house, and I'll show you the other side where you can see here there'll be, let's say maybe 20 centimeter gap. I'll show you how big the gap is at the other part of the house. Okay, so here we are at the other part of the house. So as you can see here, much bigger gap between the floor and the floorboards. So if we crawl in under here, we can see this all has the flooring still on it. This is the old part of the house that we're living in at the moment. So plenty of room here for us to be able to crawl underneath and be able to install it. So this will be done with the flooring still on the joists. So I'll just be in under here, crawling in underneath. We'll start at the very back here and we'll just work our way along. So guys, well, it looks like we've got everything that we need to be able to start our insulation job. So we've got some tarp at the back there. They're just some old mattress covers when we got some new mattresses, so we'll use that to protect the polyester from the soil. We've got an extension cord, 2 nail guns. So we've got the electric nail guns. So based on an instruction video from Ecomaster, the electric nail guns are the preferred way, so then we can see if we have gone into any electrical wires, because it'll short it out straight away. And we've also got some galvanized screws. So things we need to be careful of is obviously any electrical cords, which there are a few electrical cords getting held up by the joists on either side. So we've got to be wary of that. We've also got to be wary of plumbing. So where there's some plumbing that are being held up, we obviously don't want to go through that. And the other thing we've got to do, we're going to have to do this before we actually get started on the job, is a clean up. Tell me when it's plugged in. Oh, it's right now. Yep. That seems to work pretty good. Let me try the hardwood.
Did it go on the hardwood?
Yep.
Okay.
Like, it's definitely a lot tougher, but it's gone in perfectly.
If you do the bottom bit, like pinch the underside and put it up against the other bit, will fold over the top.
It's not hard to do this anyway.
No?
No.
There's no spiders under there.
So we're just stapling this into the underside. So we've got our electric stapler and we're putting it in. So it seems to be going in pretty easily at the moment. It's a little bit tight here, but it seems to be working. So I'll just work my way along and keep stapling.
Are you any good at pulling it out?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's had practice.
Too much practice.
What other side?
Go through the wall.
Hey guys, so insulation done. Took two days to get that one finished. A lot longer than what we expected. As you can see, there's still some bits that haven't been finished off yet. We've got a little bit down there. That's due to the insulation covering over electrical wires, so we've left that free until the electrician turns up. And also, if you just follow me around here, where the plumbing's got to go, there's also some more plumbing work that needs to be done, and again the electrician, so we just don't want to make it harder for anyone else. Overall, pretty easy to install. What we found is that 2 people going along with the electric stapler working their way along made it pretty simple. We got lucky that the ends fitted just right, perfect length for where we were trying to finish off. The only thing that was a little bit of a learning curve, we were trying to cut through the wrong angle, where we found that we could just rip it. So if we ripped with the seam of the polyester, it ripped quite easily. If you try and cut against it, it's near on impossible, it takes forever. So that took us a little bit of time. Once we figured that out, we got a little bit of a technique running, and it made it a lot easier for us to finish that off. But all in all, a pretty good job, I think. We'll come back and finish that off once the electrician's done the rest of his work. And then we'll have to tackle the rest of the house. But for our first go at it, a pretty easy, simple product to use. Again, bought that through Ecomaster. I'll put a link in the description of that YouTube channel, so if anyone wants to follow along through them, more than welcome to. But yeah, great product, easy to install, and hopefully it'll keep us warm in winter and cool in summer. Bye everyone.